Welcome to my channel. I am Alex and you're watching Discover Those. Today I will tell you about the worst serial killers by country. This is the part 1 and we'll talk about 20 countries. From Afghanistan and Brazil to Colombia or Denmark. You will see that we don't need to be that afraid of doctors, but more of nurses. Let's start. Afghanistan. Abdullah Shah, nicknamed Zarda's dog, killed at least 20 travelers on the road from Kabul to Jalalabad, serving under Zardat Khan. Also, killed one of his wives and he tried to set on fire another wife that testified against him at the trial. He was executed on 20 April 2004. Argentina. Francisco Antonio Lorena, also known as the Satyr of San Isidro, was a rapist and a serial killer who in 1975, during a 6-month period, raped and murdered possibly 15 women. He used to kill his victims on Wednesday and Thursday close to 6 p.m. Australia. Ivan Milat killed at least 7 tourists in Belanglo State Forest, New South Wales between 1989 and 1993, which became known as the Backpacker Murders, suspected in similar disappearances in Newcastle. Austria. Maria Gruber, Irene Leidolf, Stefania Meyer, and Waltraud Wagner, also known as the Linz Angels of Death, nurses at Linz General Hospital in Vienna, who admitted to murdering 49 patients between 1983 and 1989. The Bahamas. Mikaya Shobek, also known as the Angels of Lucifer Killer, American immigrant who murdered 3 fellow US tourists from 1973 to 1974. He was executed in 1976. Bangladesh. Roshu Ka, enraged over rejection by his lover, Roshu killed at least 11 garment workers. He pretended to love them, later killing them brutally. Belarus. Gennady Mikasevich, police volunteer who investigated his own mission-oriented murders of 36 women between 1971 and 1985. He was executed in 1987. Belgium. Marie-Alexandrine Becker poisoned at least 11 people with a plant named Digitalis. She was sentenced to life imprisonment and died in 1938. Bolivia. Ramiro Artieda killed his brother in the early 1920s for monetary purposes, emigrated to the United States but later returned and killed 7 women until 1938. He was arrested in 1939, confessed and executed. Brazil. Edson Isidoro Guimarães was a nurse who killed 4 patients in the Rio de Janeiro neighborhood of Meyer, suspected of 131 deaths in total. Other criminals of Brazil. Pedro Rodrigues Filho claimed to have killed more than 100 victims. Florisvaldo de Oliveira, accused of more than 50 murders, and Diogo Figueira da Rocha, responsible for at least 15 murders. Bulgaria. Lenko Latkov murdered 3 elderly women in Hashkovo province from 1999 to 2000 and raped 2 children. He was suspected in another 3 killings in Plovdiv province. He was murdered by his cellmate in 2003. Canada. Robert Picton was charged by murdering 26 women, allegedly confessed to 49 murders. He was convicted on December 9, 2007. Other criminals in Canada. Yvette Trudeau, known as the Mad Bumper, who killed 43 people between 1973 and 1985. He died of bone marrow cancer in 2008. Chile. Julio Perez Silva, also known as Psychopath from Alto Hospicio. He was sentenced to life imprisonment for murdering 14 women from 1998 to 2001. China. Yan Xinyai, also known as the Monster Killer, confessed to killing 65 people between 2000 and 2003 and executed in 2004. Other criminals of China. Wang Xiang, who had 45 murder victims and 10 rapes. He was executed on 17 November 2005. Colombia. Pedro Lopez, also known as the Monster of Andes, who was sentenced for killing 110 girls but who claims to have raped and killed more than 300 girls across Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador between 1969 and 1980. Other criminals of Colombia. Daniel Carmago Barbosa, also known as the sadist of El Charquito, who is believed to have raped and killed over 150 young girls in Colombia and Ecuador during the 1970s and 1980s. Luis Garavito, also known as the Beast, admitted to murder and rape of 140 young boys in the 1990s. Croatia. Vinko Pintaric murdered 5 people, including his wife, between 1973 and 1990. He escaped from custody 3 times and was killed in a 1991 shootout with the police. Czech Republic. Marie Fikachkova, female nurse in Sušice, who was executed by hanging in 1961 for the murders of 10 babies. Denmark. Dagmar Overby, a child care provider who killed between 9 and 25 children, was sentenced to death in 1921, then reprieved. He died in prison on 6 May 1929. Ecuador. Juan Fernando Hermosa, also known as Niño del Terror, minor responsible for killing 23 people from 1991 to 1992 in Quito, mostly taxi drivers and homosexuals. He was sentenced to only 4 years imprisonment and then released, later murdered on his 20th birthday by unknown assailants. Egypt. Ramadan Abdel Mansour, also known as Al-Turbini, gang leader who raped and murdered at least 32 homeless children in the course of 7 years by throwing them off trains in the 2000s, sometimes burying them alive. He was executed in 2010.
And that's all for this episode. Why do you think these people can kill others? What is the difference between them and us, the people who can barely kill a fly? Do they think that they are making something good? This is my second video and I would love to see that you click on the like button or subscribe button. Thank you for watching.